Here's my ranking for my top 5 favorite Saw characters. Saw is probably my favorite horror franchise of all time, and with it being officially October, everyone is officially going in right into spooky season, even though I've been doing this since September. Well, let's do some Saw talk. Let's talk about Saw. I'm going to be rewatching the movies here in a few weeks, and I'll do an updated ranking from there. But here are my top 5 favorite characters. And right off the bat, I will say that Hoffman is not in this top 5. He's not one of my top 5 favorite characters. I'm personally not a huge fan of Hoffman, especially when he just becomes the Hoffmanator and he's just unstoppable serial unaliver. Like, he's just not one of my favorite characters. And when he is in his full-on Jigsaw role, it's some of my least favorite Saw movies. That's why he's a little bit lower on here. But at the number 5 spot, I have a pick that probably nobody else has in their top 5, and that is Eric Matthews. I don't know why I find this character just so funny. Like, he is just such an unapologetic asshole, and for some reason that is just really funny to me. And the twist in Saw 2 is one of my favorite twists of the entire series. Like, Saw 2 and Saw 4, where he's pretty heavily featured, are two of my top like 4 favorite Saw movies. So Eric Matthews had to be in this list. And at the number 4 spot, I have Lawrence Gordon, Dr. Gordon. He's a doctor.
I'm a doctor.
He's another character we only get to see 2 times in this entire series, but when he is in the movies, he really has his time to shine. Saw 7, I really wish they really would have given us the whole story they wanted to tell. They really had to rush it, and that's why it's one of my least favorite Saw movies. But I love the inclusion of him being another Jigsaw apprentice. And I think he's really good as the main protagonist, the main person pushing the story in the first Saw movie. One of my favorite horror movies of all time. And obviously the scene of him cutting off his foot is very iconic, very synonymous with the Saw franchise. And I love that they bring him back in Saw 7. He's got the boot and he's just very ominous and very evil. I love the whole transition from his character from the first Saw to the seventh Saw. I love Dr. Gordon. He's definitely supposed to be on this list. Now, the number 3 spot is another character that I say is incredibly underrated and should be in everyone's top 5, and that is Detective Peter Strahm. I freaking love Strahm. He's definitely my favorite cop character or like FBI agent by far. He's like the only redeeming quality of Saw 5. Like, if it wasn't for the Hoffman and Strahm cat and mouse game in Saw 5, Saw 5 would probably be my least favorite Saw movie, but because it has Strahm, and the Strahm and Hoffman points I think are like a 9 out of 10, rather than like the trap plot being like a 2 out of 10, that is what makes Saw 5 at least watchable for me. I also just really love that actor. Like, my wife and I recently started watching Gilmore Girls, and I didn't realize that he was in that show. And he's phenomenal in that show in a very different character he's playing. So I think I just really love that actor. But Strom is definitely my third favorite Saw character. Anyone who's ranking Saw characters should have these two in their top 2, just depending on what order they want to have them in. But I definitely have Amanda at my number 2 spot. Not only is she the one who we got the first look at the iconic reverse bear trap, she was the one who was in that trap, got out of it, and then became a Jigsaw apprentice. But she just has so many iconic moments with Tobin Bell as Jigsaw. She's incredible in Saw 2 with like the whole twist of her being like an undercover cop basically in the trap. She's so great in Saw 3 as a very unstable person who just wants to please her, basically her master now. And then she's even great in Saw X. Every time she's in a movie, anytime she has a storyline in these movies, she is so great and she always knocks it out of the park. Shawnee Smith is just an incredible horror icon, and I love her character as Amanda. And now at the number 1 spot is the hypocritical prophet of horror himself, Tobin Bell as John Kramer, aka Jigsaw. The evolution of his character throughout this first 7 movies, especially with like most of them being told through flashback, is so fascinating. Especially we just all leading up to Backwards Hat Jigsaw and Saw 7. Like, the way that the Saw franchise tells their stories is so fascinating to me, and I just love how John Kramer still continues to be a through line through all of it. And he starts out as just this cancer patient who was given a bad hand, and then they just continue to stretch out every single second of this guy's life, trying to almost rationalize why he's doing this crazy stuff. Like, it's so insane, and his whole rationale is insane. He's a very hypocritical dude. So it's always just so funny to watch the Saw movies and watch all these different steps that John Kramer takes in his life. And I love that character so much. And he's easily has to be the best character in the Saw franchise. And that is a big thanks to Tobin Bell with an incredible performance every time he's on screen as John Kramer. From Saw 1 to Saw X, he does not miss. Now, what are your favorite Saw characters? And what are your favorite Saw movies? And what other Saw content do you want to see from me for spooky season?